Tratos is being held in a hospital prison facility within this sector. Avoid detection and rescue Tratos from the facility. Once he is out, a transport will be sent in to evacuate him. Once Tratos is clear, destroy all Nod forces in the area to prevent further experimentation. Establishing battlefield control. Stand by.
The medical facility is located to the west. We must get Tratos out of that facility. What do you want? But try to be subtle. If we're detected, he's as good as dead.
Welcome back to Tiberian, son. Now this mission starts us off with 3 units, Umagan, Ghost Stalker and the Mutant Hijacker. Umagan here is basically the sniper from Red Alert 2, high range, instantly kills infantry, completely useless against vehicles. Ghost Stalker, he comes equipped with a railgun, also kills infantry instantly, but also vehicles as well. Although he does have a very low rate of fire.
Target. What?
You talking to me?
Now, all our forces for this mission are mutants. As such, we have a number of unique advantages. For one, we can commune with Tiberian wildlife. So, for saving this man-eating abomination from those evil bullies right there, we now have a little puppy following us around and helping us out in combat. I mean, isn't he just the cutest thing? With his razor-sharp fangs and deadly Tiberium shards. Now, the other advantage we have is we can actually heal our guys in Tiberium. Because they're mutants, they not only don't take damage from it, they are actually healed by it. This is quite helpful in this mission because all our guys are actually pretty squishy and they're also all mission critical, so healing in Tiberium helps a lot to keep them alive. Now, one important thing to note about Ghost Stalker is his railgun uses special projectile logic. Instead of just sort of immediately impacting the target, it actually travels on a set path, and if anything happens to be on that path, it will usually die instantly. This actually has failed me quite a lot of missions because of Umagan's tendency to run right in front of his firing lane. Now, the Mutant Hijacker here is not that useful, to be honest. He has no offensive capabilities. All he can do is steal one enemy vehicle, as the name would imply. Right here it's pretty useful because we can actually use this Nod attack cycle to shoot over these walls and get those ammo crates. We are scripted to destroy that power plant, which presumably should have taken down the laser turret, but as you should know by now, they don't require power to function, and so it's still perfectly fine. But no matter, because we can just shoot down the walls manually and go ahead and go through this gap. Now, another nice thing about Ghost Stalker is he has a long-time CNC classic, the C4 charge. Basically, he enters a building, he plants his charge, and the building is immediately destroyed. This can be really powerful in multiplayer if you manage to get him next to, say, an enemy construction yard.
Give me an order.
Now right here we could blow up those ammo crates and get through this conveniently placed hole in the wall. But there's another scripted event I want to show off first, so let's get on the other side of the base. And right there you could see how Ghost Stalker's railgun destroyed the building that was in the way of the enemy tank. You kinda gotta wonder why he even carries around his C4 charges if he can just blow buildings up like that. Heal him up real quick. Gotta be careful though about those laser turrets. They do have short range, but given how smart the pathfinding AI is at times, and how fragile our guys are, I'd rather be safe than sorry.
What? I only need one shot. Alright. Already there.
So after shooting this cliff wall, we can go down here to this Tiberian field and find some more little puppies. These guys are scripted to just burrow through this wall and take it down. Normally they can't do it.
Stay low. Stay low.
We don't actually need their help.
What do you want?
We could just take out all these guys by ourselves and be perfectly fine, but it's always nice to have someone. And triple kill right there for Ghost Stalker. 2 Tiberian Fiends and the attack cycle. Fortunately, the mutant hijacker gets out of a vehicle whenever it's destroyed, so we didn't fail the mission right. All we have to do to actually get Trados out is just move Umagan right over there, and the hospital just magically explodes.
Lead me.
This is Lieutenant Stark. We've touched down and are awaiting Trados for immediate evac. Get him over here, ASAP.
We must get Trados to the transport.
So there you have our next objective. Just get back to a transport and get Trados out.
It will be done.
Now these guys on the bridge, they're scripted to attack the transport and give the whole thing a little bit of urgency, but over half of them always bug out and just get stuck on the bridge, so it's just the attack buggy and 2 guys against 3 Wolverines, and they don't stand a chance. So all we have to do is just do a quick little walk to a transport. Easy enough.
What? Good is done.
Yeah, Wolverines just take care of business down there. And we just abandoned the other 3 mutants to their fate.
Establishing battlefield control. Stand by. Reinforcements have arrived.
But now we enter the second phase of the mission, and that is build a base and attack the enemy base. How very original.
Reinforcements have arrived.
I'm on it. Loud and clear. Loud and clear. Unit ready. Moving out. Unit reporting. Yes, sir.
Construction complete. New construction options.
Now down here we actually get a pretty good supply of Tiberium. There's, I think, 3 or 4 Tiberium Repariuses down there and quite a bit of green Tiberium already lying around. So we can get quite a few harvesters working down there.
Loud and clear.
Now, these Wolverines were actually supposed to die, so I don't think the developers really accounted for them surviving, but we get control of them anyway. Although they probably won't survive because the enemy usually goes after them pretty quickly. Right now we can't get to those 3 Wolverines because the bridge is broken, as you can see,
Construction
and
complete.
the only other way around would lead us straight across the enemy base, so that's not an option.
Reinforcements have arrived.
So now, while we build up our base, let's talk about the mutants themselves for a bit here. Basically, the Brotherhood has been using medical colonies like these to experiment on civilian volunteers and infusing them with Tiberium, because you see, normally when uncontrolled Tiberium mutation occurs in humans, they just turn into a wobbling mass of flesh that just goes around attacking anything it comes across. These things are called visceroids, and if I were to place some soldiers inside a Tiberian field and wait for them to die from the exposure, they would have a chance of actually turning into a visceroid and going around the map attacking things. mutants we actually used for this mission obviously weren't Visceroids. Instead, they were the product of controlled Tiberian mutation. Basically, the Brotherhood of Nod infused them with limited amounts of Tiberium, and as a result they started growing Tiberium crystals out of their skin. Aside from gaining the ability to heal in Tiberium, this also had the side effect of basically making them eventually go insane and die, so it's kinda like cancer in a way. So as time went by, GDI started attacking and liberating medical colonies like this one, and they ended up with all the mutants that were already created by the Brotherhood, and they didn't really know what to do with them. With the Shiners, as we are commonly called by GDI forces. So they basically just let them go on their merry way and take care of themselves. Which the mutants didn't take too well, obviously. And so they started organizing themselves into what they call the Forgotten. And they have basically been trying to edge out the living in the more contaminated areas of the world.
Construction complete.
And trying to find a cure for their Tiberium cancer. So, now officially their relationship with GDI is that they are allied with GDI, seeing as how they liberated them and all, but the actual relations are pretty strained, and as you could see from the cutscenes, GDI officers don't really like the mutants too much, and the mutants don't really like GDI that well either, so it's kind of a strained relationship pretty much. With the Brotherhood they obviously have a much worse relation, seeing as the Brotherhood doesn't really take too kindly to their experiments just up and running away, and the mutants having been infused with cancer by the Brotherhood, so yeah. Now you might notice we already have a radar map from the first section of a mission, but there's actually a reason to build a radar tower anyway, because it gives us access to the helipad, a new building for this mission. Now the helipad, as you probably might have guessed, is the production building where we build all our aircraft from. Right now we only get access to the Orca fighter, which isn't that great, or rather it's actually pretty terrible, and you'll see why.
Construction complete.
Now, aircraft operate on some different rules than normal units. For one, they actually have to use ammunition. If you see those little bullets next to the unit, they are the ammunition counters, so this guy has 5 shots right now. Once that ammunition is depleted, the air units have to go back to the helipad and refuel, which takes quite some time. Technically you could produce more air units when you have helipads for, but seeing as each air unit takes 1 helipad to refit it, it's generally advisable to always have as many air units as helipads. The reason these Orca fighters are pretty terrible is because not only are their shots pretty damn weak, they actually have huge trouble hitting anything, especially if it moves. You see that Nod attack cycle just moved 1 cell over and the shots just completely whiffed.
Unit lost.
Yeah, these missiles don't actually track, so if a unit is moving, they have no chance of hitting it. Some other special rules that apply to air units specifically is they can't actually move into the fog of war. So this whole black area on the map, it's all off limits. They don't have a sight range either. So yeah, that's That's mainly relevant in my campaign because you don't actually see the enemy base, so you can't really launch airstrikes against them. And by the time you actually get to see the enemy base, you usually have enough ground troops to destroy it anyway, and you don't really need air units, so their usefulness in the campaign is kinda diminished by that somewhat. Now, unlike well, another thing to keep in mind is that unlike other CNC games, these air units don't actually loiter in the air. So, unless they're currently flying somewhere or attacking something, they'll just land on the ground, and they'll land anywhere too, so you gotta keep that in mind, because if they just happen to land somewhere because you misclicked, all the ground units in the area will start to open fire immediately. Now we can also build the SAM upgrade for our component towers, which is kind of weird because the enemy in this mission has no air units whatsoever, so there's absolutely no reason to build them. Unless an engineer happened to capture a helipad that had an Orca fighter on it, it would just be impossible for the enemy to actually get air units. So, I don't know. Maybe the developers thought to give the enemy air units at some point during development, but then scratched that, but they still left the SAM upgrade in because they forgot or something. I don't know. Or maybe it's a difficulty thing, maybe on hard the enemy gets air units. Who knows?
Ready.
Sir? Ready.
This time around the enemy is actually quite proactive about attacking us. In previous missions, North would pretty much just leave us alone and let us build our base up as we just at our leisure. This time around they actually attack us occasionally. Still pretty weak, just some attack cycles every now and again, and pretty infrequent, but hey, better than nothing.
Unit ready.
We're making progress, we're getting.
Waiting orders.
So yeah, since I want to mix things up a bit every now and again, I'm not going for a tried and true combo of Disc Throwers and Titans this time around, and just going with my starting Wolverines and a couple Titans.
Yes, sir. Moving out. Yes, sir.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir. On my way. No problem. Yes, sir. Orders received.
If we shoot the Sculf wall and go up here, we can actually get straight to the enemy's Tiberian fields where they have all their harvesters. Down there you can already see the edge of some laser turrets, so that's where the enemy defenses are and where the main base is located.
On my way.
Unit ready.
Attacking this harvester really pisses off the AI and will start sending everything they have at us.
On my way. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
A lot of their stuff was light vehicles, attack buggies and attack cycles. So our force of Titans actually is pretty effective at dealing with these enemies. They only have a couple infantry, mostly cyborgs, these big burly guys. The thing to keep in mind about them is they actually have light vehicle armor, so they are less affected by our Wolverines, but our Titans just make mincemeat out of them.
Sir. Orders received. Yes, sir.
Infantry reporting.
So yeah, Titans, still as effective as ever at sniping these laser turrets. Not as effective against dug-in TIG tanks though. Those guys actually have even longer range than Titans.
Unit, yes, sir. No problem. Unit reporting.
So yeah, this is kind of annoying about this mission is this last bit is just kind of a grind. You just build up your Titans and just... at this point it's pretty clear that we are going to clear out this base, it's just busy work really. He does have some tick tanks, but nothing friendly.
Unit ready. Sir, yes, sir. Sir?
Now another thing to keep in mind is the enemy will actually start churning out new units as we attack his base. So we actually want to take out his production facilities as soon as possible. I'd say take out his refineries would be just as good, since it takes out all the Tiberium stored in them as well, but the enemy actually has quite a lot of silos, so it's generally quicker to just take out his factory and hand of nod.
Unit lost.
Now Dover is actually an engineer, and if you wait long enough, he'll go to your base and repair that broken bridge. It was cutting us off from our Wolverines. I didn't really feel like waiting, so we won't get to see this playthrough. So yeah, he'd go and repair that bridge.
Unit ready. No problem.
The harvester just feels completely useless, seeing as we blew up the only refinery.
Infantry reporting.
Unit ready.
I don't know if the enemy actually rebuilds any of the buildings you destroy, but let's just take out the construction yard, just in case.
Unit ready. You got it.
I'm focusing on the power plants for no real reason, really,
Sir.
since neither tick tanks nor laser turrets require power to function.
On my way.
Building.
Moving out.
Building. Construction complete.
Now I decided to just build some orca fighters, just show them off more.
Unit ready.
They're really pretty useless unit in general, so
Construction complete.
you won't be seeing much of them
Building.
from here on out.
Unit ready.
Unit reporting. Yes, sir. Sir?
Construction complete. Building.
Also, another thing I didn't mention before, I think, you can actually use this button up there to deactivate buildings that draw power, and well, it pretty much does what you think it does.
On my way. Unit ready.
And it can be pretty helpful if you lose a power plant to the enemy and your base loses power. You can just shut off some non-essential buildings and have your defenses up and running.
Unit ready. Moving out. Unit reporting.
Unit ready.
Pilot reporting. Away we go.
These are actually enemy SAM sites, if you recall from the second mission. They, unlike the laser turrets, these actually do require power to function. Otherwise, they would be making quick work of our orca fighters. And you can see just how terrible these orcas are at actually taking things out, even if they do manage to hit them. This is without the SAM site firing back. If it did, it probably would have taken out at least one orca or two. So yeah, now it's pretty much all just clean up here. This is actually a really annoying part of the mission, because not only do we have to clear out all the enemy buildings, we actually have to clear out all the units as well as all the laser fences, so I'll probably cut them out. At least this guy had the courtesy of just suicide charging into my base, so that's one less thing to worry about.
On board. Unit ready. Building online.
Yes, sir.
Just repairing the bridge so I don't have to run my guys all the way around to the enemy base and back. Just to get those couple guys over there.
Yes, sir. You got it.
And this is pretty much the only occasion where the orcas are gonna be useful against those tick tanks. Because with all the SAMs taken out, we are pretty much defenseless. And being a stationary target, even our orcas can. Except the 6 orcas completely unloading the barrage. They can't even destroy one tick tank. That's just pathetic. I mean, just look at those titans. These titans are fucking wrecking their team.
Unit lost.
And 6 orcas can't kill one of them.
Awaiting orders.
So yeah, clearing out all the laser fences.
Got it. Waiting orders.
Just look at that cyborg. 6 orca fighters attacking 1 cyborg and he still has health left. I mean, what the fuck?
Yes, sir. On my way.
Yep, still clearing all those laser fences. At least that's the final enemy structure. We can finally be done with this mission. Except, there's something I missed. How did I miss something? Now I have to go all over the fucking map and search for that one guy I missed. This is just great. Probably a harvest up here or something.
Unit ready. Orders received.
Awaiting orders.
So yeah, just sitting my guys around to scout all the black areas.
Sir.
Maybe it's the armor crates.
Sir. You got it. I'm on it. Loud and clear.
Yeah, there he is. Stupid little harvester.
Sir.
Awaiting orders.
Mission accomplished.